to another Keeping Up with the Klee Kai. I hope you are having a fantastic Thursday. My name is Desiree. If you are new to our channel, welcome. If you can, please type new in the comments below so that we can actually say welcome. So today we are going to talk about all of the most commonly asked questions that I get between Facebook, Instagram, here on the live each week, just through emails and people that are just curious, all kinds of fun stuff. So I figured let's put together a list and go over that and give you guys some answers. So before we get started, of course, we have a few housekeeping rules. Do me a favor, please. If you have questions, you can put 3 question marks before the question. That will help me make sure I don't miss your question. And then also, please keep your questions to the topic at hand. Of course, today that really doesn't make a whole lot of sense since today's all about questions, but hopefully we will get all of your questions answered before you even have to ask them. But feel free to jump in and ask them as we go along. And then we do have something called Super Chat or Super Sticker, and that gets you to the top of the list for questions. But it is also donation money that goes back to Kika's Klee Kai and helps with anything that we buy for the crew, and it gives you guys an idea of what works and what doesn't work, and we share it on the live, and so we have a lot of fun with that. And without any other topic things, I think that's it. So let's dive right in. We have a lot to go over. We're going to go over a bunch of questions that have to do with the breed, and then we're going to jump into questions about how do you get one, and then questions on how to prepare when you're getting ready to bring one home, and then questions on raising and training and troubles and problems and all of that fun stuff. And then once we get through all of that, we are going to show you guys some new puppies. We are going to name 2 puppies. We have a new litter, so we are going to name 2 puppies with the letter B. And we are going to give away some things. So today we haven't done this in a while. We've been too busy, but we're going to give away a calendar. Okay, if you guys don't have one, these are on the website. So we're going to give away a calendar, and we are also going to give away, depending on how many people we have here, but we're definitely going to give away a pair of socks. So we're going to give away a pair of those. And then if we have a lot of you guys on here, I might just throw in a mask if you guys want one. All right, so we'll get to that here shortly. And I better just look real fast. Alexis is now working every Thursday. So guess what? That means you got me. Oh, and you have my husband. I'm gonna get him on camera. He's like, come here. Look at this handsome man. So he's my sidekick today, and hopefully we don't miss anybody and we don't mess this up. All right, let's go. I'm just going to jump right in. Actually, look at the puppies. All right, for those of you wanting to know, River's in the bed. Diamond's over there looking grumpy, trying to sleep. Nala is trying to chew on a bone, but where's Kira? I don't know. And then, Ruse puppies. Of course, they're all sleepy. So there you go. Quick, real fast. All right, let's get started. Okay, first, all about the Klee Kai. So I put together 11 questions for you guys about the Alaskan Klee Kai and the questions that we get. The first one that I get, probably the most common, is how big do they get, and do I breed toy size? For some reason, everybody wants to know if we have toys, if we make toys, and I'm talking toys in the size, not a real toy, and how big they are. So I'm going to switch over actually to this camera real fast so you guys can see. All right, this is what I have. I have a yardstick, and this yardstick is only 18 inches. So if you get a ruler or you get a yardstick like this at Home Depot and you set this on the ground, a Klee Kai should not be taller than this, okay? So this is the best way for you guys to measure. Toy sizes are 13 inches and under. Miniatures are over 13, but under 15 inches tall. And this is from the ground to the top of their shoulders, okay? So not to the top of their head, but just to the top of their shoulders. And you want to make sure that their feet are straight. And then standards are over 15 inches up to 17 and a half inches. Sometimes they'll get oversized, of course. So anything over 17 and a half inches is considered oversized. They are still Alaskan Klee Kai, but once in a while we all get a throwback. And so that is the size. Now, do we have toys? Do we breed toys? Yes and yes, but there's more to it than just that. So the Alaskan Klee Kai come in 3 sizes, but we don't breed true to size. So we don't breed toys to toys, minis to minis, so on. So we don't get all minis in one litter, all toys in one litter. In fact, standards can throw toy-sized puppies. Toys can throw standard-sized puppies. We can even get all 3 sizes in one litter. Crazy, but we can, and we have. So just because the parents are one size doesn't mean that that's going to give you an idea of what we are going to get. And that's Kira in the back. Kira decided that she was going to shred a toy, and I think she ate something, so she keeps doing that. But there's nothing in her throat. We checked. Okay, so that's size. So yes, we have all 3 sizes. Yes, we produce all 3 sizes, and that's how you will measure. Next, honey, can you just, if you see anything over there, can you just let me know? Yeah. Next question is, how much do they cost, and what makes up the difference in price? And so, of course, this is my pricing. This is not any other breeder's pricing. This is specifically my pricing. And most breeders are pretty close in price range, but a lot of it has to do with where they live. Obviously, we are in Southern California. We probably have one of the highest cost of livings, even just the vets, even just electricity is probably more than most states. So our prices might be a little bit more, but generally speaking, they range from $2,500 to $3,500. And that really depends on the overall quality of the dog, the coat color, and the eye color. And so between all 3 of those, I base my pricing accordingly. My black and white blue-eyed puppies are always at the top. They're always $3,500. Kara, are you okay, Missy? So black and whites are always the most expensive. Gray and whites, brown eyes are usually the least expensive. So if you're trying to stick with a budget, you're going to want to try to get the lower end brown-eyed puppy for sure, and gray and white or all white is usually going to be the cheapest. And then that's what makes the difference for us. So you can talk to other breeders. They may fluctuate. They may be different prices, but that's what our pricing is. The next most common is, are they good with cats? We get that so often. Are they good with cats? So we don't own cats. So personally, we haven't experienced that. But what I can tell you is that tons and tons and tons of Klee Kai owners own a cat. In fact, we've sold puppies to people who have cats. We've also sold adult dogs that we've retired, like 5, 6, 7 years old, and they go live with cats. So it can happen, but it just depends on that specific dog as an adult, because some have a higher prey drive, some are going to want to eat that cat. But for puppies, you will never have a problem. In fact, the cats are going to be the ones that are frustrated and irritated with a puppy that's rambunctious, chasing them all over the place. But the cat can jump up on things and get away from the puppy, and they will eventually become best friends. So do they get along with cats? Absolutely. And another question I get often is, can my Klee Kai, or can a Klee Kai run with me for 3 to 5 miles a day or multiple times a week? And the answer is yes. Now, if you have a toy size and they're pretty small, it is going to take some time for your puppy to get used to it. So you're going to have to take it slow, obviously. But over time, that dog is going to be able to run with you the entire time. And what great exercise and a bond for you guys, because your puppy is going to run right next to you and they're going to get a lot of socializing and they're going to be tired. So short answer is yes, they can. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. All right, I'm going to keep moving along because we have so much on my list. Yes! Oh, yeah. I see Sean's message. Look at what I made, guys. I made a new hoodie. And, of course, I still have my Kika's Klee Kai. And I did it on the back. Look. Da, 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 da. I don't know if they can see. So, yes, I did my hoodie. All new. I did put this design on the website, and we could do any color. But thank you, Sean. All right, let's see. Keep going. I'll get distracted real easily. How often do they shed? Well, generally speaking, they shed twice a year. So when they're about 4 months old, they're going to start blowing that puppy coat. And then once they blow out that puppy coat, they're going to get their adult coat in. And Rue's puppies are having little dreams. And then once they get their adult coat, it's usually every 6 months that they are going to shed. And it's not necessarily, at least in California, it is not necessarily based on the seasons. It's based on when they were born, and how often that routine takes place is dependent on when they were born. So if they were born in January, then you're going to be able to tell that, okay, every 4 months from then, they're going to shed their first time. 6 months from then, which is going to be 10 months, they're going to shed their second time. And they will probably adjust depending on where you live. So if you live and actually have full seasons, they might not shed every 6 months because they will adjust. But in California, we don't. Thank you, Stacy, for the super chat, super sticker. Let me know if you have a question. I know that I don't see one. Let me know if she has one for that. So shedding, usually twice a year. All right, next. Do they like the water? So yes and no. Now, if you have a puppy that's raised at the lake, at the beach, have a beach entry pool, then they're going to get used to it very quickly and they will learn to love it. If they are not, and all of a sudden you take them and throw them in the pool, or they fall in the pool, or they go to the beach and the waves come up and scare them, they're going to be less likely to just run and jump in. And it's going to take some convincing to get them to go in. But if you do that, oh my gosh, look at that puppy. If you do that young, then they will learn to love the water. We do have some owners who have pools and their Klee Kais jump in the pool. We used to have a pool and we had a beach entry, and the dogs love to go in it on their own terms. So they don't want to be forced, but if it's warm, they will love to go into the water. They'll get used to it. So yes, they can love it, but they don't always love it. All right. I'm going to get to some questions in just a minute. Let me just get through this stuff, unless you have a super chat, super sticker question. Nope, just appreciate you. Thank you, Stacy. Okay, so my next one is, how do they do in the heat, or how do they do in the snow? So weather related. And of course, we're in California. It gets pretty warm in the summer months. It's not as humid here as it is in some states, but it is definitely very warm here. We don't get snow except for in the mountains. Although we did get snow and hail about a week ago. We actually had our entire backyard was white, which is very, very rare. Doesn't happen here, but it was gone in 20 minutes. Anyhow, so do they do fine in the heat, and do they do okay in the snow? So they have two coats. They have an undercoat and a top coat, and that it serves two purposes. So it will keep them warm in the winter, and it will keep them cool in the summer. So you never want to shave them down. You never want to cut an Alaskan Klee Kai's hair because you think they're hot, or because, I don't know, because you want them to be a different breed. Don't do that. It's going to affect them because they aren't going to have that inner coat to keep them warm, or to keep the heat off of it, or to keep them dry, because that coat is so dense that you'll be surprised how much they'll, even if they're in the pool or playing in the sprinklers or playing in the water hose, and then 2 seconds later they're completely dry because it doesn't soak through. And when you get a Klee Kai and you have to do bathing for the first time, then you're going to see that you really have to soak them before they actually get wet, because it just doesn't absorb in very easily. So with the heat, they do fine because they're not an outside breed. Like, they want to be inside with us. They don't want to be, thank you, Jack. They don't want to just be sitting out in 100-degree weather. Do they want to go and bask in the sun when it's 75, 80? Absolutely. But when it's really hot, they don't want to be out there anyway. So they should be fine because they're not an outside breed. Of course, if you are trying to walk your dog and it's hot, you need to be very careful of their paws. and make sure you touch it with the palm of your hand to make sure it's not too hot. So you just need to use a lot of common sense. If it's too hot for you to be barefoot, it's definitely too hot for them to be barefoot. And when they do have to be out, just make sure they have coverage. And if you can, get them a plastic pool if you don't have your own pool. And they will be just fine because they're not going to be out there long. As far as the snow goes, they love it. Now, most of them, I would say, love it. When they're little puppies and they come from us in California, they are very dainty and they are like, what is this stuff? And they think they're freezing, but they learn to love it. And as they get older, they just trample through it. I'm sure a lot of you guys are on Instagram and you see with all of the snow going on back east right now, so many people are posting all of these videos of their dogs just trampling through the snow. So they do usually love it. And they don't get very wet either because of their coats. Jack, let me know if you have a question. And so let's go over here. I'm going to switch back. Let's see what everybody else is doing. Oh, it's nap time. All right, so that's it for the weather. Next is, do they get along with other dogs? And sometimes I get asked, do they get along with like a specific breed of dog? And the answer is yes, especially if you're getting a puppy and they're socialized and you're introducing them to your puppy, your dogs at home, or your families, they will be just fine. They don't have any type of issues where they are going to be aggressive or not want to get along and play with your current dogs or your friends' dogs if you interact them at a young age. Now, taking an adult and introducing them, it might take some time for them to adjust. I do know that some people have asked in the past. In fact, one person today emailed me and said their dog is very friendly but very vocal and will sometimes show a little dominance or signs of aggression. Other people think that their dog is aggressive because, for one, they're pretty vocal breed and they're talkers, right? So when they're playing, you've seen them on our lives. When they're playing and roughhousing, they are loud and they can sound a little intimidating. So some people, if you're in a public place, may think that your dog is aggressive. And really, that's hard to get them to stop doing because this breed is a vocal breed and that's how they communicate with each other. And so unfortunately, I don't have an answer for her as far as how to stop that, except for you controlling the situation. And when your dog isn't doing what you need them to do and misbehaving, if you consider that misbehaving, then you need to pull them out of that situation. So you just need to be in control. But yes, they get along with other dogs. And next was, how often do they need to be groomed? So we tell you what you should do. We recommend that you're brushing every week, but there are times when they're not shedding all year long, so they don't necessarily look like they need to be groomed. But if you do brush them every week for just a few minutes, then when it is time for them to actually shed and blow that undercoat, it's going to be a lot less, because what you're doing whenever you brush your dog is you're constantly pulling out any dead undercoat fur, and it's promoting the growth of the new hair to come in rather than waiting months before you groom. And then all of a sudden it's this big poof and you have an entire feather pillow all over your house. So if you brush weekly, you will be able to manage the fur and the shedding later on, but it's not a necessity. So they are pretty good with like a wash and wear breed. Like you don't have to do a lot of grooming on them, but the more you brush them out, the better it'll be for everybody. All right, and then my last one for this specific topic on the Alaskan Klee Kai is there a difference in personality between male versus female? And I'm just giving you guys my opinion on this. I do think there is a difference, but not always. So it's like every situation. Generally speaking, yes, but there's always that one that just throws us for a curveball. So I personally think that the boys are more loving, more willing to please, more dramatic, like mama's boy, daddy's boy, like very needy. And the girls are more in charge, more dominant. You guys see it all the time here. Like we've got our little boys, even Simba, who's just crazy, crying, thinks he can just be in my arms all the time, wants to please, very easy to train. And then the girls are moody. They take his toys. They want to rule everything. And it's kind of like humans. Yeah, I think. Look at Kira. Are you guys? Oh, I said her name. So that's Kira right there in front. Hi, Mama. And Diamond. And the other two. Nala's way on the corner. You can barely see her. So difference in personalities. Yes, there are. But there are those females that are just like our boys who are very low-key, very mellow, not as dramatic, not as, I guess, aggressive or dominant is really the word. But yeah, generally speaking, boys are my favorite. All right, so before I get on to the next one, which is questions about getting one, like how to get one, all of that good stuff. Let me just pop through here and see if we have some questions that I can answer for you guys that I haven't on my list. This person's asking if I know if they're on their list. Well, first of all, I don't even really know your name because it says Roblox Kid, but you would know if you were on our waiting list because you would have put down a deposit and filled out an application and a deposit contract. So, all right, let's see. It's hard whenever I have to go there. What are they chewing on? Oh, Lindsay's asking what they were chewing on. So those are cow hooves. Cow hooves. We get them at Petco. You can get them where I get the bully sticks too. But they're just cow hooves. How much exercise do Klee Kai need? That's a good question. And it is part of the questions that I'm going to be answering here in just a little bit. So I will come back to that, Catherine. And let's see. Oh yeah, Emily is saying, don't forget to do a thumbs up. So if you guys are new and you haven't been here before, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. It should be down there on the bottom. There's a thumbs up and a thumbs down. Right now we are at 28 thumbs up. So if you can do me a favor. And there's 73 of you watching, by the way. So thumbs up. Look at that. I love it. And you guys listen. They're all coming through. But that's because YouTube likes to see that we are engaging with you guys and that you like what you are seeing. And so the more you do that, the more that YouTube's going to promote us. So we just appreciate that you're doing that. And the dreaming puppies. All right. Do they... Tanya's asking, do they have to be socialized to water young? It is better if you are introducing them to water when they're young and again at their own pace, not forcing the situation. And so that way they will learn to love it. It's whenever you force them to do stuff with this breed, then all of a sudden they will do everything in their power to go against what you wish. So if you let them decide that they love it, then they will love it. What brushes do we recommend for grooming? Okay, so Catherine, Jessica, we're going to go over that here in just a minute. In fact, I'm going to show you guys some. So we will share that. Oh, and thank you, Catherine. Catherine shared also. Thank you for the super chat, Spencer. Okay, he's asking how Nova is. He hasn't seen her in a while. So Nova went to go live with another family, and so she doesn't live here anymore, and that's why you haven't seen her. All right, we are all caught up. Okay, I'm gonna grab me a drink of water and then we're gonna go on. Are you guys enjoying this? I hope so. Thank you, Emily. I need to hit the little button, huh? Look at, did I do this? Yeah, I forgot I could do that. All right, I'll play with that. Okay, so getting one. If you are looking to get one, which a lot of people email us because they're looking for a Klee Kai, these are some of the questions that I get. This first one, daily, like 15 times daily. Do I have any puppies available? The answer is no. The answer has been no for years. Years. We have not had puppies available. Once in a while, we might have a puppy that has brown eyes. Updates on Nala's pregnancy. Oh, I'll get to you in just a second, Emily. So once in a while, we will have a puppy that doesn't get spoken for, but that has not happened in years. We've had a waiting list for several years. We always sell our puppies through that waiting list. And so anybody just trying to find an Alaskan Klee Kai, most breeders, if not all breeders, have a waiting list for puppies. Some require a deposit, some do not require a deposit. We require a deposit. That deposit is not refundable. And so we want to know that if you are going to get a puppy from us, that you are committed. And if you are not, that's fine, because some people will get on multiple lists, but you will forfeit your deposit. And then the second part to that is our waiting list is closed. Our waiting list is full and it's closed. So at this point, you couldn't get a puppy from us in a year and a half anyways, because we closed it down. And that was because we started getting so many people getting on the list. And so what we had to do was shut it down, because our waiting list is 12 to 18 months. And so most people don't want to wait 12 to 18 months to get a puppy. However, there are people who are planners and they aren't ready for a puppy yet. And a year from now, 18 months from now is perfect timing. So what we have decided to do is allow 5 people a month join the list. And that is only if you are okay with the 12 to 18 month waiting list. You are okay with losing your deposit if you decide you are not going to get a puppy from us, and that you are patient. So if that is you, and if you have filled out an interest, the interest list form, I will be sending an email out tomorrow to all of you guys, but we're only going to let a limited amount each month. And that's just so that I can't tell you guys 2 years, you know, if I keep it open for everybody. So that's where we are. And we don't have puppies available. Never, never, never. My next question, where can I find one? Because usually my answer is, I'm sorry, we don't have puppies available and our list is full. Where can we find one? So that's a pretty good question, because a lot of people are excited, anxious, impatient, and want what they want, and they want it now. And with the Alaskan Klee Kai, that is not reality. It's just not. And if you think it is, you are going to be scammed, because Klee Kai are not available. There's maybe 30 breeders in the whole United States. We all have a waiting list, especially since last year. It just went crazy with everybody trying to get a dog. And so where can you get one? The best thing for you to do is go on to AKOA's website. So it's AKK, I should have wrote this down, AKKAOA. And that's for Alaskan Klee Kai Association of America. I'm gonna put this on the screen. .org, okay? And that is the breed club for the Alaskan Klee Kai. They have a list of breeders. So if you're looking for a breeder and you don't want to wait a year to a year and a half to get a puppy from us, I would try to reach out to those breeders after you've done your research and you feel comfortable. Now, they might not have puppies available, but at least you know that that is a legitimate breeder who is part of our breed club. Don't try to buy a puppy at a pet store. There are pet stores, especially in Connecticut right now. There's 3 or 4 dogs that are listed as Alaskan Klee Kai. You could tell they don't even look like Klee Kai. But people get scammed all of the time. So don't buy from a pet store, because they can't guarantee health. They can't guarantee that it's an Alaskan Klee Kai. The minute you buy that dog, they usually end up sick and not well taken care of and not social. So don't buy from a pet store. Don't buy off of Facebook, where people are just advertising without having real websites, and double check that they have legitimate phone numbers and emails, and they're not wanting you to Western Union you money, because you will get scammed. So you need to be patient with the Alaskan Klee Kai. Make sure you're dealing with a real breeder. And I have no problem answering that question for you. If you do find something that is available, I've had several people email us and ask, hey, do you know, are they real breeders? Are they legit? I have no problems telling you that. I won't tell you if I recommend them or not, because I don't share that information. That's for each person to decide on their own. But I will tell you if I know them and they are a legitimate breeder. Thank you for adding that in there, Catherine. And so the next question I get with puppies is, do we ship? So do we ship our puppies? And before the pandemic, We shipped all day long. We didn't have a problem shipping puppies. We've been shipping puppies since 2004. We've never had a death. We've never had anything crazy happen with a puppy being shipped. It is definitely something to think about because it is scary for a puppy. They're going on in a crate, on an airplane all by themselves. However, you become their savior, and the minute you rescue them from that horrible crate, they forget all about it. And they don't know their surroundings. They don't know that they're on an airplane. They are mad because they're in a crate on their own, in the dark, without their siblings and everything they've known for the last 8 weeks. But with that, they do charge. It's like $475 to ship a puppy. It's an addition too, right? Right now, with the pandemic, the airlines obviously aren't in full speed, so they have cut down on their flights. Not every flight is pet safety, pet approved. So we have had a very difficult time trying to ship puppies during this pandemic. And in fact, we've just said we can't do it because the flights aren't available, the weather restrictions, United's not even accepting pets. So right now we don't, or we're not, but once everything opens back up, which we thought we're gonna do that about 8 months ago. So whenever it opens, we do plan to ship again. Next is, do we sell internationally? You'd be surprised how many people reach out from all over the world wanting to know if they can get an Alaskan Klee Kai from us. Now, in the past, I have sold to Australia, to Indonesia, to Finland, to Russia, to Brazil, Mexico, and Canada. But I stopped because it's very time consuming. It's very, very expensive. Puppies can't just leave here at 8 weeks. They're like 4, 5, 6 months old before they can leave. It's hard on our family. It's hard on our dogs. It's just, unfortunately, it's not worth it for me. So I can't do that. The only exception is Canada, and that is only if you are able. Right now, it's US only. All right, that is it for questions on the getting a puppy. Let me see if I have any other questions now. Okay, Leslie has questions, but how often does a pairing in a litter throw a white puppy? So we get a white puppy maybe 5 times a year. It's very rare, like 5, 8%. I think we had talked about this a while, and I gave percentages, and I don't remember off the top of my head. But all whites are pretty rare, and that's because I intentionally try not to have a lot of white puppies. So the white puppies are not registerable, and so they won't have papers because they're considered a fault in the breed. Because Linda Sperlin wanted a breed that had a mask and not all white. Keep in mind, she used an Alaskan Klee Kai. I mean, she used an American Eskimo to create this breed. And so, no, they're sleeping. They're fine right now, but you can go in a little bit when they all get up. Thank you. So we don't get many because we intentionally try not to get very many. Planner. That's cute. Are there temperaments difference between boys and girls? I'm not sure if I want a male or female. So I answered that. And it's really just boys are usually a little more loving, a little more. Thank you, Jennifer, for the super, I like the heart, for the super sticker. If you have a question, dump it on there. All right. Frozen on my end. Uh-oh. Are we frozen? It did it for me too, so I refreshed. It froze up for a little bit, but it's normal now. Okay, good. That was weird. It didn't show frozen over there, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's see. She got her current dog at a pet store before she was educated about them. He was listed as an AKK kind of, he's only 75% AKK, but I learned my lesson. So see, that's good. Thank you for sharing that, Jessica, because what happens is these I guess I would call them puppy mill people that are breeding Alaskan Klee Kai without papers because they were supposed to spay or neuter their dog, and they're breeding it to something else, and then they're selling them to these pet stores, and then they're charging like $6,000 for a dog that they say is a Klee Kai. And maybe it is. Maybe it is. Okay. All right. Awesome. We're all caught up. Next is preparing to bring home your puppy. Oh, Ethan's over here. Look at Ethan's got a baby. Ethan's got a baby. Hi. All right, now we have to get interrupted because Ethan's over here bringing me puppies. We'll stop for a second. This is little wine. He's smelling. He's like, what is that? Thanks, bud. It is?
Hopefully not everybody's having that problem.
Oh, now I've got lights flashing. Let's see. Huh. I don't see it frozen on my end, guys. I wonder what's going on with YouTube. It looks good, right? All right, well, we're going to keep going. Hopefully. Yeah, most people said not for them. Okay, good. All right, so bringing home, how to prepare for bringing home your puppy, questions that you guys ask when you are bringing home your puppy. So number one question that I get asked is, what collar size? And usually when you bring home a puppy, it is going to be between 3 to 5 pounds. And that just depends on the size that I anticipate they're going to be. So toys are usually 3 pounds or less. But generally speaking, the size of a, oh, I don't have that one. The size of your collar in the very beginning should be 8 to 10 inches. So if it adjusts or has a buckle that can go really small, then you can go like 8 to 12. But honestly, most Klee Kai are going to fit in an 8 to 10 inch collar when you bring them home. Thank you, Natasha. I haven't seen you in a while. I did ultrasound today. We'll talk about it in a little bit. But 8 to 10 inches, generally speaking, when you bring your puppy home. I also get asked about harness size. I don't use harnesses, so I don't know. You would have to estimate. Thank you, Spencer. I'll answer that in just a second. So for harnesses, you need to be able to read and see what it says as far as the height and weight of that puppy and what size it would fit, because unfortunately I don't know for sure, but most puppies are 3 to 5 pounds. So Spencer sent a super chat and he's asking if there's a possibility for red puppies up and coming. And the answer is yes. We actually could have had red puppies with Angel's litter and with Cessna's litter. We just didn't, but we could have. So it's really random. We never know what we're going to get. Sometimes we'll breed 2 dogs that have the red gene and we'll get all reds. Sometimes we won't get any. Sometimes it's just one hit or miss. But the possibilities are there, yes. Now it's just a waiting game. Yes, 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 more pregnancy. Okay, so collar size. And then next that I usually get is what size of crate should we have? And should we use the wire crate or should we use a plastic crate? Which crate should we use? This is your own personal preference. For me, we use the plastic crates because the Alaskan Klee Kai, first of all, you're training a puppy and they are not going to want to be in there. So if you have it all open, they are not going to be happy, and it's going to be sometimes harder to train them to like their crate because they can see everything. So if you do go with wire, make sure you get a cover for it. I prefer the plastic crates, and when you start off with a crate, it should be small. Small, small, small. The reason why is because if your puppy is 3 to 5 pounds, 3 to 5 pounds, and you have a ginormous crate, they're going to go to one area to go potty, and then they're going to scoot over to another area to go back to sleep. they're not going to alert you, and it is going to be harder to potty train your puppy. So go with a very small crate. My recommendation is 21 by 16 by 15. And that is one brand. So you can get one that's 21 by 17 by 15, but stay in that small range. It's also on my website that I list a bunch of different things that we recommend. And so, oh, Madison. Thank you, Madison. If you have a question, please dump it on there, okay? And so that's for the crate. Small, small, small. They'll probably outgrow the small plastic crate, but they're $30. The reason I want you to have a small plastic crate is because they have a handle. They're very easy to move. When you're crate training a puppy at nighttime, they're going to need to be in your room on your nightstand for 3 to 5 days. And so it's way easier to move a little plastic crate than it is to lug around a heavy metal crate and try to put it on your nightstand. And that way it's already den-like, okay? And then the next one, I get this a lot. Let's see, does she have a question? No. Is what's better, kibble? Everybody's sleeping. Kibble or raw? They're awake. One's awake. It's Whoopsie. For those of you who don't know, Whoopsie was born in my bed. Are you going to move, buddy, so we can see you? We'll see. Maybe he'll move. He hears me. So that's Whoopsie. Rue decided to have him in my bed. That's funny. Okay, so what's better, raw or quality kibble? This is a personal preference. I used to feed raw. I fed raw for a long time. One dog got sick. I don't know if it was from the raw, and I decided no more because she got pancreatitis, and it was just a problem. So if you only have one dog, 2 dogs, you can probably get away with doing raw and not have such a huge expense. So raw is definitely more expensive, but there are so many benefits to raw because they poop less. It's healthier for them. You don't have to worry, usually, as long as you're buying a good quality raw, you don't have to worry about recalls because it's all American made with American products, and they're not coming over from all over the country and being stored for a long amount of times and rodents and things getting into it. So definitely raw or a homemade, there they go, or a homemade dog food is awesome. So if you can, great. Just know that it's more work. You have to be cleaner, and you need to make sure that you give your dog a lot of natural meaty bones. And oh yeah, there is, I'll talk about that in a second, Tanya. Good point. That if you only feed raw, it's going to be soft. And so you have to make sure that you are giving a lot of raw meaty bones to self-clean their teeth, and also do dental cleanings and brush your dog's teeth. By the way, I'm horrible with that. I don't do it. I have too many dogs. I don't have enough time in the day. I'll just let the dentist at the vets handle it for me. But don't do as I say. Don't do as I do. Do as I say. So yes. Oh yeah. So that was, let me, where is that? So Tamara said that her vet cautioned against doing raw, at least while Sierra was a pup or is a puppy. Yeah, so talk to your vet too, and do your homework. We've gone through so many dog foods over the years, and we are very happy with Purina Pro Plan. That's what we've been feeding. That is what AKC recommends. That's what all the dog show breeders use. I used to think that that wasn't a good dog food, and now I realize that it actually is a really good dog food. So that's what we feed. Okay, next. Oh, I wanted to talk about Tanya. So Tanya was saying that there is, or is there is there any kibble raw hybrid? The answer is yes, but it's freeze dried. So we actually have that. Oh, it's in the other room. So there's toppers that is freeze dried raw. And if you have a picky dog, if you feel like they're not eating enough, they're not gaining enough weight, then you can add that to the mix, or you can feed just that, which is, it's all freeze dried. So you don't have to worry about it being raw and in the fridge and all of that stuff. So there is definitely that where you can buy it with just the raw by itself, all freeze dried. A little bag like this is $50 though. $50. I'm not kidding. And we have it. Or they have it with kibble and the freeze dried mixed together. And so you can buy that, which is a little cheaper because it's not all freeze dried. So keep that in mind. But yes, that's a good point. That is available. JFFD has raw. I'm not sure what that means. I'm not sure, Michelle. Maybe she's talking to somebody else. I better look at these. Okay, next was bully sticks. Are bully sticks okay? Can I give my puppy bully sticks? Where do you get bully sticks? And if you don't know what a bully stick is, Google it. I'll just say Google it. So the answer for us, again, this is just what we use and what we prefer, is we do use bully sticks. It helps the dogs calm down. It keeps them busy whenever I need them to be quiet, and it helps with cleaning their teeth. However, not every bully stick is the same. Not every bully stick is made in the same country, the same ingredients. Some have things added. Some are very hollow. Some are not made they just are really poor quality. So make sure that you read reviews or buy the ones that we buy on Amazon. There's the link in there that we love. They're not cheap though. We buy them, the bags that we buy 2 different bags. One's really thin, one's for the little puppies, and one's the thick, the premium thick ones. It's $100 for 2 bags. So it's not cheap, but for us, 2 bags last us a while. That'll last you guys a really long time. However, there's different case packs. So we buy the 50 pack, and you can buy a 6-pack, a 20 pack, 25. Anyhow, yes, go look on Amazon or do your research and find some through one of your little close pet store. I guess there's a lot that probably are in the little pet boutiques and things that are probably going to be pretty good quality because they make sure that they are not coming from China kind of stuff. I don't know if China even makes those. Thank you, Heather. We got another. You guys want to win, huh? You guys want some stuff. Remember, we're giving away some things here. I haven't done that in a long time. I'm so excited. So yes, short answer, yes, we like bully sticks. Now, one thing to keep in mind with bully sticks is that once they start eating, and it gets small, they can choke on them. It can be a choking hazard. So you want to make sure that you are around and that you can take it from them, or you need to buy a bully stick. Dang it, I should have. The bad thing about being in here is all of my stuff's over there and I can't just easily access it. But one of our customers sent us a safety chew. It's called Safety Chew for the bully sticks, and it actually slides in and locks the bully stick into this metal ring, and they can't choke on it. So make sure that you get something that is going to hold the end of it so your puppy can't choke on it, or you have to make sure you watch your puppy. I have it on the little puppies because they're awake and everyone else is asleep. See? They passed out. Okay. How do I puppy proof? Bringing my puppy home, how do I puppy proof? So this is just the basics. I want you to think about having a toddler, having a niece, or if you don't have kids, your niece or nephew, or you're babysitting somebody's 3-year-old that is into everything. They're at that right height where they're into everything. Keep that in mind with a puppy. So you have a little puppy, you need to be able to look at the perimeter of the floor, behind things that they can squeeze into, make sure there's no cords, make sure that they can't get into any cupboards and get any chemicals. If you don't have kids and you don't have any pets, you probably can leave stuff out all over the place. You can leave coins loose. It's never been a big deal. But now they can get into everything. the littlest thing or the littlest little spot that they can squeeze behind your TV stand, they will. They'll get into cupboards. They'll get into the toilet paper. Remember last week or the week before we had that video of all of the stuff these dogs get into? So you have to make sure that everything is up, and then you need to be able to separate rooms. A puppy should never have free run of a house ever as a puppy. Okay, you need to trust them. They need to be potty trained, and they need to respect you and obey you before they get free run of another room. So make sure that that area is 100% picked up. Empty. Empty's good. Okay, another one I get is, what cat litter do we use? So I have a good story for you with Apache. Apache came and visited after he got out of the hospital with Stacy and David, and they were in the playroom, and he was running crazy, and I knew he had to go potty, and I grabbed him right away, and I showed him the litter box because he hadn't been here in 10 days. And he instantly and he went pee and poop right away. And they were amazed that he did that because they weren't using litter. And I'm not encouraging you guys to all use litter boxes, but that's what our puppies are raised on. And so they knew right away what to do. And he knew right away, even though he had been gone for 10 days. And so they instantly went and bought litter box and cat litter. And it has to be a specific kind. So I'm going to tell you that in a second. And now he's accident-free, goes straight to his little pen and goes to his litter box without any problems. So the litter that we use, and there's a few that you can use, but the one that we like is called World's Best Cat Litter. And hopefully Catherine can put that on there for me. World's Best Cat Litter. It's a red bag, and it is actually made of compressed corn. So if your puppy eats it, it's not going to hurt them. It's digestible, it's flushable, and it really helps with the odor, and there's no dust, so you don't have to worry about all that chemical stuff that's in some of the cat litters. So that's the one we use. There's a few others that is like recycled newspaper. I didn't have as good a luck with those, but some people do. So we use World's Best Cat Litter, red bag. Petco, PetSmart, Amazon, Target. Works great. Last one that I get when you're preparing, a lot of times people ask me is, what shampoo do we use? What grooming tools do we use? What should we buy, for the whole process of grooming and shampooing? And so I'm going to show you. I'm going to switch over here to this one. So that way I can show you guys a couple of grooming tools. And I don't have shampoo, but let's talk about that first. So shampoo, we don't spend a lot of money on our shampoo, because if we spend a lot of money on the shampoo, it's just going to do the same thing that any puppy shampoo is going to do. I feel like it's a waste of money. Of course, you want to use a pet shampoo. You don't want to use our shampoo, because the shampoo that we use, or the Dawn soap that we use, which, by the way, we've all probably used Dawn soap on our dog one point or another, but it strips away all of the pH balance in their coat and skin. So you definitely want to use a pet shampoo, but you don't need to buy de-shedding, all of this other extra stuff that they sell for $20, $30. We don't give our dogs a lot of baths, and so just a simple puppy shampoo that doesn't have a lot of chemicals in it, that is going to be gentle. That's it. $7. That's it. With regards to what tools to buy, this is also all on my website, but these are the ones that we use, okay? And I also have several videos on grooming, but for you guys that are new or don't want to go through all of that, we use a few things for grooming. I don't think I need this light on. Okay, this comb. You guys want a comb. So it's double-sided. I'm sorry, it's two thicknesses. So this is a finer tooth and then a wider tooth on this side. And so you could use both sides. And this one's metal. I got this at an AKC dog show, but I don't even know if they sell. Oh, it's on my face. I don't know if they even sell this anymore because I didn't buy it online. Okay, so you want a comb and you want a rake. Okay, look, our dogs, do you see that? Yep, they bit the rake. You're gonna want a rake. The reason you want a rake is because it's gonna help pull out the undercoat. You want a Zoom Groom by Kong. The reason this is cool is because it's soft, okay? And it massages. If you have a puppy that's never been groomed or hates being groomed, this is like a massage. They're going to love it because they're getting massaged. And what this is going to do is it loosens up that undercoat that's starting to come out. It sucks because it doesn't collect it, so it does kind of make a mess. But the dogs like it. So if you want to get your dog loving being groomed, use this. So you're going to want to use this, a slicker brush. And the slicker brush, I don't know if you could see that, but they're on my website, that has the little balls, the little rubber nubs on the tips, because if you don't get a slicker brush that has that, it's going to hurt them when you press down. If it hurts your hand, it's going to hurt them. So make sure it's a slicker brush that has the little rubber beads on the tips so that it's not too sharp. And you want to check it often to make sure that those little beads don't come off. And then my glove, look, do you see that? Yep, they get into everything. Left it out, and that's what happens. Probably the kids, actually. But you're going to want to use this glove. Those are what I use for everyday grooming, even when they're shedding. If you want, get a flea comb. The reason why this is good is because I have to cover my eyeballs. Their feet, if you see like their legs behind their ears, is very, very fine fur. And you can comb right through this, and any dust and all of the shedding is going to come right out. But you can't use this thick comb on their main coat, right? Because it's going to get stuck and it's going to hurt them, and they're going to hate being groomed. If you guys use the right tools when you're grooming, your dog's going to love it. If you are on my Instagram, you probably saw a couple of days ago, maybe last week, River's laying on the couch sleeping, and he's being groomed. That's how much he doesn't mind it, okay? So that's what you are going to want to use by the simple shampoo with regards to grooming. For the order, how we handle it, we have a video. A couple of times we've talked about it on the live too. So I'm not going to go into great detail because it's already 7. I got to keep going. So as far as preparing, that is the main list of people asking questions now they're asleep, that I have listed here. Are you guys going to wake up? So now let me just make sure I don't have any questions here before I move on.
You do.
I do?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I have to scroll up and down because I'm talking. I can't do it while I'm talking to you guys. Okay, so I found a carrier, but it's more expensive than the wire crate. Which one should I get? So carrier. So if you are needing a carrier, I will tell you, carriers are expensive. They're not cheap. So they're anywhere from $60 to $300 for a carrier. And that's for a soft-sided carrier. Like if you are going on an airplane and you need a soft carrier, a lot of times people have a soft carrier even when they're not going on an airplane, but they just like the soft crate, then you are going to pay for it. But you don't want to use a soft carrier overnight crate training purposes. You don't want to use that because they're going to shred it. They're going to dig and dig and dig. They're going to bite it and they're going to rip it. All right. I don't know what she was saying. They're just talking. All right, Michelle. Is it true that Klee Kai need less protein in their diet than other breeds? So that's a good question. I wouldn't say they need less than most breeds. However, some Klee Kai are more susceptible to pancreatitis. And so you just need to be careful there. Keep in mind that they are a pretty active breed. So if you cut out too much of the protein, they might be too skinny. So I don't know that all Klee Kai need less protein in their diet. Some Klee Kai don't do very good on raw, and a lot of them thrive on raw. So you have to test it out. At what age do you feel is right for a dog to have free roam of the house? So I don't go off of age. I go off of how far the puppy has come. Let me switch this. If the puppy can be trusted and is potty trained, then you can open up. And you don't open it from one room to the whole house. So you're going to open it from one room to 2 rooms, or a little more space, until you know they aren't having any accidents. They're not sneaking behind anything and going to the restroom. They're not chewing up things, or you can watch them. So it just depends on that puppy and how good you are at watching them in those areas and how puppy-proofed those areas are. So we have gates up everywhere in our house because most of our puppies and dogs, they don't get free run. No one's going upstairs unless I want them to. Yeah. Okay. Do I litter box train all of our puppies? I do. That's pretty new to us. We started that last year, and it has been a blessing for sure. So we do that now. And we don't expect you guys to keep that, but raising puppies when they're 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks old, obviously they're not going outside. They need to go to the restroom and not roll in it and not drag pee pads all over the place. So we do a combination. We definitely have pee pads in there, but they are all learning litter box. And Rue's puppies are almost, I would say 90% litter box trained, and they are 6 weeks old. Yeah.
Give a shout out to Astro.
To Astro?
To see,
no, what happened?
Astro is in a contest.
Oh.
So I think a few people are voting, so
yeah,
we'll have to look into that too.
All right, we'll do that. So how often to bathe them? It is on my list here, but I'll go ahead and answer it real fast for you, Liz. Are you okay, Kira? We don't bathe our dogs a lot. I'm talking 4 times a year. It just depends on if you go a lot of places and they're getting into, you know, the beach, sand. You have the beach. I know your puppy goes to the beach a lot. So you want to make sure that they don't have too much salt on them and things like that. But they clean themselves. They're very cat-like. So they don't need a lot of baths. And if you use a lot of puppy shampoos that don't have all of those or that do have all of those chemicals, you're going to strip out their pH and they're going to be itchy, dry skin. So we don't do a lot of bathing. They don't need it. This is an odorless breed. So if they don't need it, why put yourself through that? We don't necessarily require it. So if you want to, you can bathe them probably every 6 to 8 weeks, but I don't. Emily is asking, which is the pup in the back left? Wine. Okay, so I don't know if that was earlier or not, but Wine is the lightest one, and he's got brown eyes, and he's in the very front right now. So the one that we can't see his face, but we see his body. And then the other 2, it's hard to tell because they're both sideways, but I know those are the darker ones. So I know that's not him. All right, does the fur between their paws grow long, and does it ever need to be trimmed? Good question, Crystal. So we have shaved the pads of our puppies and dogs, especially in shows. So if we're going to a dog show and they're on a slick surface, we'll shave the inside of the paw. In fact, honey, you want to get me a puppy and I'll show them what I'm talking about. Yeah. So you would just use clippers and trim it. Most Klee Kai do not have such long fur that it is in their pads. However, some do. We had a puppy go home not too long ago that has a much thicker, longer coat. And so we even showed the family what they should do. And the reason for that is because if you are on slick surfaces and tile, then and their coat is longer, and so it's on their bottom of their pads of their feet, it's going to be slippery and they are not going to have the best traction. So if you have, stay here, buddy. If you have that, what you would do is this fur right here is what she's talking about. And you would just get the clippers and literally just shave right here. But most, that's pretty dark. Most puppies, you will not have to do that on Klee Kai. I'm going to get it close up. Hold on, buddy. So do you see how there's hardly any fur in there? So you wouldn't have to do it. So very rare that you would have to, but good question. Dog shows, we do it even when there's not a lot of fur because a lot of shows are on slick surfaces and we have to put them up on a table. And so if we have to put our dogs on the table, we don't want them sliding. So Kelly said the Zoom groom is amazing. So that's good. Well, there goes Kira again. I think she would learn, but she didn't. Aw. Liz said, if anyone's on the list getting a Klee Kai, be prepared for the best, most loving pup. I've never felt a bond like this. That is awesome. I love hearing that. Okay, Mackenzie, can you link the mat with the paws on it? Oh, so that's on Amazon. Is it not on there? It's called the Whelping Mat. It's on Amazon. I thought I had it on there. If I don't have it on there, Mackenzie, you can email me and I will send it to you. Kira, are you choking on yourself? Okay, Ryan. Why do some AKK have long hair? I've seen some AKK from other breeders that look really, really fluffy, and I thought the breed standard was short hair, and it looks better. So, because there are a few different breeds that were used in the Alaskan Klee Kai, you know, way back in the day, the American Eskimo being one and a Schipperke being another, there is the gene to produce longer coats. And also there are Pomskis out there that people think are Klee Kai, and Pomskis are Pomeranian mixed, so with a Husky. So they're gonna have that longer, fluffier coat too. I weeded that out a long time ago. I'll get a throwback every once in a while. It is not something that I prefer. That's just my own personal preference, and so I try to stay away from it. I have a very specific look I'm looking for, and it is not the longer coat. But because it is in the breed years ago, we'll get a throwback once in a while. What's the rarest in reference to size in order? Toy, miniature, standard? Toys are going to be the rarest that we see. Minis and standards, we pretty much equal out at the end of the year, but toys are definitely something that we don't get as many of, and that's also a personal preference too. Even though I said I can get all three sizes in the same litter, and I can't necessarily predict, I do know my lines, and I know generations back, and I do know which dogs will tend to throw puppies that are on the smaller side more than not. I am not a huge fan of the super tiny Klee Kai. They usually will have buggy eyes. They'll have really narrow snouts. And when you look at an outline of a Klee Kai, like let's just say a silhouette, you want to be able to look at that and say, oh, that's a Klee Kai. Can you turn the air down? Yeah. If you can't tell what it is, we're not doing our job right. And so, for example, let's see if it'll let me do this. I hope that did that. So there's a silhouette. I just covered the puppies, but I'm pretty sure you guys could see that. So when you see an outline, and let's just say you can't actually see the coloring, but you see an outline, you see that it has the right shape, the legs are proportionate, the head is proportionate, the ears are the right size, the tail goes up and curls over. You want to be able to say, yeah, that's a Klee Kai. So toys don't always do that, unfortunately. Do the puppies kick the litter all over the place after going potty? So we have our litter boxes in the back, so they're against something. Yes, they will get rambunctious and run and play all over the place, and then they will make a mess with it. But I have a Dyson and it just vacuums it up, or I could sweep it up. So it's not that big of a deal. It's not like it gets tracked all over the place either. So it's pretty easy. All right, I need to get going on to the next one. Huskies have retractable claws like cats. Do Klee Kai also? I would say I'm not sure exactly if we're talking the same thing, but for sure, like in order for me to cut their nails, I really have to push out to get their complete nail to come out. So you probably are talking about the same thing I'm talking about, Lauren. But yeah. No, Diana, you did not miss it. I'm trying to hurry so I can get through this. All right, I'm going to stop answering questions. Oh, good. We're caught up. Okay, let me finish up real fast so we can move on. Actually, I'm going to do this. In 10 minutes, we're going to give away our first item. We're going to give away the calendar. So let's give away a calendar in 10 minutes. Honey, you need to tell me who's winning. I got to put him to work. So just tell me who you think should win, okay? A calendar. Or if you guys if you don't have a calendar yet and you want one, throw it in the comments. That'll help us. All right, raising and training. Leash training. This one is a good one because a lot of you guys ask about that, and we just finished filming River with this. So I'm going to make an actual video on this. But real quickly, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to show you guys on leash training. So I'm going to do a quick little blurb, okay? And that means I'm going over there and I have to switch this camera. And then, let's see. We'll just do it like that. All right, so I'm going to show you guys real quickly with River. Hi, baby. Hi. Hi, Papa. Okay. Let's see. I gotta rearrange. Yeah, you did eat something, didn't you? Thank you, Diamond. Thank you. My camera is really low today because, come here. Are you? No. Because we weren't going to be in here, so wanted it low. Hey, honey, can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to do this with everybody in here. Can you get them out and just leave me River?
Yes.
All right. We talk about what I like. Well, we're going to actually go into detail on this in a minute.
Thank you, Madison.
Thank you, Madison. So, for training, I always use a choke chain. It's a very thin choke chain. River. Come here. You guys go outside. Come on. Diamond, go. No, go. Thank you. Thank you, Annie. Okay. That's better. Not all craziness. And so, if you are going to... Did you see that? Did you guys see that? He just stole my leash. Come here. So, to teach your puppy to walk on a leash, if you are not going to use a choke chain, then you need to make sure that they have a collar on that is going to fit them correctly. Okay? You want to be able to have no more than 2 fingers go in between here, because if you don't have the right collar, what's going to happen is your puppy doesn't know what a leash is. They're not going to want to walk with you right away, and they're going to slip out of it. Usually I leave his collar on, but because this collar is a little bit on the big side, and he thinks he's going to walk himself because he's a puppy, that I'm taking that off. And so at first, when you have a puppy, you're going to put them on a leash and you're going to let them just drag it around. This is my super expensive kangaroo leash, and I'm not going to let him do that because he already knows what this is anyways. But to start with leash training, after you've let them get used to it, you are going to pick what side you want your dog to walk on. And I'm going to stand so you guys won't see my body, but I want you to see the dog anyways. So I always have my dogs walk on my left side. This is going to teach your dog that this is their spot. This is where they should be. They shouldn't be able to go on this side and all over the place. You want them to know they're going to one specific side, and that's where they should always walk. And in the beginning, you're going to have this on, and you're going to have treats, or you're going to have their meal, because what do? We train with our meal. Let me grab some food. And you should have this leash in your right hand and the dog on your left side, and your left hand is free to get your treat out of your pouch or out of your pocket, right? So I have his meal, and your leash should not be very long. 4 feet is the perfect length for a puppy, even 3 feet on an older dog, okay? And of course, they're gonna be jumping, they're gonna be all over. This is totally normal, and that's fine. But when I stand up, what I'm going to do is have this leash in my right hand, and I'm having my food right here, okay? And of course, at first, he's gonna be jumping. And when I walk, I'm literally calling his name, and I'm doing this in my house, and I'm just guiding him. And as he's coming along, I'm going to give him some food. And it's a reward for him, and he's learning to follow me, and he's always on this side of me. That's where I want him. I'm not going to give it to him when he's jumping. Okay? River, come. Okay? You're crazy. You're crazy. Over here. And you're getting him to look at you and pay attention. At first, he's looking at this, right? But I'm slowly going to take it from way down here to up to my pocket. And because I have my camera really low, I can't show you guys very good, but this week you will get the video. And so then I'm going to take it from here up to here. And now he's just going to be looking at me while I'm walking. If your dog is always looking at you during your walks, they are less likely to be distracted. They're less likely to run after things because of their prey drive. And they're always looking at you because they want that reward. And eventually, they don't even need the food anymore. They're just looking at you in anticipation of that. So slowly but surely, come here, River. I always want him on this side. I'm going to wait for him to stop. Okay? And I'm going to say, River, let's go. And of course, it's hard for me to walk into this room, but I want him on this side. I want my treat right here. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. You're going to use his name. You're going to, come here. You're going to use his name. You're going to use the command, and you're going to reward. And you're going to do it a lot. You should be doing this 3 to 5 times a day for 5 to 10 minutes at a time. They will pick it up very quickly. Come here. River, come. Come. And now I'm not going to leave that choke on him because he's really young and his choke is not going to be safe. It'll be dangerous. He tastes the food on my hand. And so now we're going to put this back on him and let him. Just wait, buddy. Just wait. Just wait. Just wait. All right, now, if he would stop, I'll give him his whole meal. That's a little bit on leash training, okay? We're gonna, again, I'll show you guys a full video on that. Here. this week. All right, let me give you some food. Here, buddy. I'm gonna let him eat. I'm gonna come back in there. Oh, good question. Okay. So I'm going to switch this over. My preference is my left hand. I'm right-handed, and I'm stronger in my right hand. I'm going to be able to control a situation, right? If you're left-handed, then you could pick whatever side works for you. That's just what I use, but it's totally up to you. But I do recommend that you teach your dog to walk on one side and not rotate back and forth, because if you give your dog a routine and you give your dog something to expect and understand, it's going to be way easier for you to teach your dog that specific thing. So whenever you're teaching them to sit, you don't tell them to sit one time and then tell them to sit down the next time, because it's going to confuse them. It's the same with which side they go on and what you expect out of them. The quicker that they understand what you're expecting, the quicker they're going to pick it up. Oh, Mackenzie, my shoes. I love my shoes so much, but we can't find them anymore. My husband got them for me last year, and I told him I needed a new exact same pair, but we can't find them. But I do love them from Adidas. I never wore Adidas. Aw, did you see this? I never wore Adidas before, not because I don't like them, but I just never did. I was always a Nike person.
I commented.
Oh, okay. And so when my husband bought me these, I fell in love. They're my most comfortable shoes. All right, off my soapbox. Okay, I need to hurry.
Okay.
Spencer.
Smith.
Okay. Wants one what?
Calendar.
Oh, okay. Is that the winner?
Yeah.
All right. Spencer Smith. Are you on here? Yes? I hope so. You need to email me your information so I can get this out to you guys. And that's my email. So email me your address so I can get this in the mail to you. All right? I hope you're on here. Yeah. Yay. Okay, perfect. Okay, send me an email. All right, there we go. One's down. We're going to do socks here quickly. Aw, look at the babies. Yeah. We already know who's getting the socks. My husband picked. All right, let me keep going. So other questions with raising and training. Potty training. I get that all of the time. Potty training is not something that I can go over very, very quickly, but it is on my list. We have a video on potty training. We talk about it often. I can work on another one, but potty training is very easy if you are consistent and you have a routine and you know exactly where your dog is at all times. If you can't watch them, they're going to have accidents. If you don't clean correctly, they're going to continue to go potty there. So you have to be consistent. You have to be the one who's in charge and set the rules, and do not give them too much space. And you're talking going out all the time in the beginning until they learn. So I won't go into a lot of detail, but I have videos on that. The other question I get asked a lot is, how do I stop them from pulling on the leash? So part of your problem is your leash is too long. If you are using a retractable leash, get rid of it. This is only for people who know what they're doing and they have a very well-behaved dog, and they can go into large parks or wildlife and let their dog get some exercise and go off and explore and still be able to control and pull them back. But for most people, I do not recommend that you use a retractable. So if your dog is pulling on the leash, your leash is too long, you're using the wrong kind of leash, you're using the wrong kind of collar, a harness probably. My guess is a harness, but a lot of times it could be even a regular collar and it's just not on the proper way. If their collar is down low on their neck, oh my God, that puppy, that was hilarious. He just fell over. You can't control your dog. So if it's not up high, if it's up high, and you tell them we're going this way or not to be pulling, you're going to control them. But if it's down here and you're doing this, it's not affecting your dog at all. It's not. And if you have a harness on your dog, their instinct is to pull. And if you're pulling back and they're pulling, then you're pulling and then you're putting more resistance on their shoulders, and that's encouraging them to pull even more. So I feel like a lot of it has to do with the equipment if they're not using the right stuff and you're not using the right stuff. But change your leash. How do we stop puppy biting? That's a big one. How do we stop puppy biting? So there's a few things, and we've talked about this before, but just real quickly. If your puppy is biting, they are teething, right? We know that they're teething for some time. They're teething until they're about 6, 8, sometimes 9 months, but they're teething for a while. So you have to make sure that your puppy is not chewing on you, chewing on your kids. You need to make sure they are exercised a lot, okay? Make sure that they're fed. Make sure that you can give them something in place of your hand, in place of your kids' hands, in place of whatever it is that they're getting into that they shouldn't be, and reinforce that. You're giving them something in place of your hands. And if none of that works, oh, and one last thing. If they are biting you, keep in mind, you guys watch puppy videos, and whenever they're playing and biting each other and pulling like this, and one of them squeals, that squeal is their way of communicating that that was too rough, that hurt, not to do it that hard. And almost always they let go. So if you aren't able to pull your hands away and give them something else, and they keep coming at you, then they need a nap. If they don't need a nap, then you need to, oh my God, I just lost my train of thought. You need to yelp. So it's not a puppy yelp. It is a ouch, ouch, pull your hand away. That hurt, and then no. So if they're biting, ouch, whatever command it is, whatever word it is, that keyword, and then pull your hand away and tell them no. And you have to be diligent about this, and everyone has to keep doing this, because to you it hurts, but to the other person that they're biting, it doesn't hurt, because they're not telling them that it hurts. So they're associating what they've known for the first 8 weeks of their life. That's how their siblings tell them something. When mom teaches them to stop nursing, what does she do? She growls at them. She nips at them. She tells them no in her way. We have to teach our dogs, our puppies, how to communicate in our language. Okay? Those are the fastest tips I can give you. How do we introduce to other pets? How do we introduce to a dog in our home or a cat in our home? We get asked that a lot. Can you do me a favor and grab me puppies so I can start showing them Angel's puppies?
Angel's in there. We want to bring it.
Oh yeah. The best way to introduce them, if they're pets inside your home when you're bringing your puppy home, the best thing for you to do is do it on neutral ground, which means go out front, have your current pet on a leash, if we're talking a dog here, have your puppy on a leash. I don't want you holding your puppy. I don't want you holding the other dog, because you don't want your current dog to be jealous that you're holding a puppy and start nipping at it. And you don't want your puppy to be overprotective of you. It's going to get loud because we're letting it through. And so neutral ground, both on leashes. Let them sniff each other first, not too close to each other. Let them sniff. You have to learn what they're telling you with their body language and their tail and all of those things. But puppies, at least our puppies, they're going to be like, oh, a dog, and they usually are going to jump all over it. However, if you have a 120-pound German Shepherd or a Rottweiler that has never been around a Klee Kai, that might be a little different, and so you have to start off slow. But generally speaking, they warm up rather quickly. We've had so many people ask us this question, and they always tell us, wow, that went a lot easier than I thought it was going to. So don't be too stressed over that. Just remember your first pet still needs to keep their items. Like, don't take all of their toys in their bed and give it all to the new puppy, because you're going to create animosity and jealousy. Okay, so make sure they each get their own time with you, their own toys, their own treats. So that's all super important. Next was, Why does my puppy hate being brushed? I get that a lot. You guys just have to start really early, okay? You start early, short amount of time. I got dog food all in my pocket. And make sure you're using the right equipment. If you're not using the right equipment, it hurts them. If you're pushing down too hard, it hurts them. So be gentle and don't force it, but also make it fun and rewarding. Can my puppy go outside without having all of their shots? I am not a vet, so I don't want you taking what I say as I know what I'm talking about. I'm only going to tell you what I've done, what works for me, because there is a huge opportunity for you to socialize your dog. If you miss out on that opportunity, your dog is probably not going to be as social. They're not going to be as friendly and outgoing. So 8 to 16 weeks is that huge window of opportunity, really 8 to 12, but 8 to 16 is huge. So if you wait until they've had all their shots, you've missed all of it. Now you haven't socialized them at all to our world, to what we live in every day. So what I say is after their second set, if after their first set, even when they leave here, you can carry them around, put them in a backpack, take them, through the drive-throughs, let them smell people from a distance. But after their second set, get them out. Just make sure that it's in a clean environment. Don't take them to the dog park. Don't take them to the woods and the canyons and let them roam with all of the other wildlife and animals that you just can't control. So make sure you're in control of the environment and you know what's out there, but get them out there. It's super important to socialize them as young as you can. Another question is teeth care. I'm just being honest here. I don't do it. So I don't really have an answer for you. I know some people on here probably do. Maybe they could talk to you about it. But I do get asked that a lot. And I know I'm a horrible owner, but I don't brush my dog's teeth. Come on, I can't even get my 11-year-old to brush his teeth. All right. What shampoo? We talked about when do they stop growing? When do Klee Kai stop growing? How do we know they're done growing? And this is going to be my last one. Okay, generally speaking, height-wise, they're usually done between 10 and 12 months. 10 and 12 months for their height, and then they're going to get fuller, they're going to get thicker, they're going to get more mature over the next 6 to 9 months even, because usually by 18 months, they're fully matured and what they're going to be as far as thickness goes. But height, well, hi, Kira. Hi, baby girl. She's not focused, though. It's focused on Diamond. That's Kira looking at us. She's trying to figure out how to get over here. So generally speaking, that is when they are done growing in height. I think that's it. All right. We are going to show you puppies. But before we do anything else, I know I have, do I recommend the litter box? Let me answer a few real fast. Do I recommend the litter box? So if you guys cannot get your puppy outside, if you live in a high-rise building, if you don't have any type of yard and you have to share a area for your dog to use the restroom, if you live in snow where it rains a lot, chances are it's going to be nice to have them litter box trained or pee pad trained. I prefer litter boxes, but keep in mind, we don't encourage you to teach your pet to go potty inside, because if you teach them past 8 weeks to go potty inside, then it is going to be harder for you to teach them to go outside. So if you can teach them to go outside, wean them off of the litter box, wean them off of pee pads. If you have to, great. It works well, but it's not for everybody, and we don't want you to encourage your dog. All right. Thank you. I don't know about that, but I'm trying. Thank you. I appreciate it. Plus, my husband's here. Okay, one more question if I have any, and then we are giving away our socks. Oh, we're good. Okay, Madison. Are you on here? Madison. I don't know what Madison's last name is. I hope you're on here. We're gonna wait and make sure you are. It just says Madison.
No.
Oh, Miller. Okay, he said it. Madison Miller, we are going to send you socks. So I need you to email me. Madison Miller, congratulations. We are sending you some socks. Look, I have this little thing. All right, let me put that on here so she can see. All right, Madison Miller, we're going to send you socks. So send me an email. All right, now we're going to show you puppies. Leslie, I see your question, and I will get to you in just a minute. What is River chewing on? He's chewing on a cow hoof. Cow hoof. Okay, I'm gonna switch this over to the big one so that you guys could see the babies. Yeah, they're all chewing on cow hoofs right now. All right. Oh, not those babies. All right. Okay, so Angel and Simba's puppies. We have, last week we saw them, remember? We have one girl. Look at, eyes are opening. I gotta get it close to focus. Maybe. Come on. Oy, I hate it when it does this. See the eyeballs? Just barely opening. No, I don't know eye color. They're just opening. Can you give me the other gray girl right there?
Right.
Yeah. So there's two gray girls. Nope, that's the boy. Sorry. I couldn't see his head. Two gray girls, a gray boy, and an all white girl. This one is a little bit lighter. I'm going to show you both of them. They're like, so you can see a difference in the color, right? Look at how light compared to the other one. But when you look at their backs, they're different, but not a whole lot. But look at that part. Uh-oh. Somebody sees babies, huh? All right. So two gray girls. And then give me the white one, baby. Okay. Beep. And then you can get the boy. And then, hey, I'm trying to talk, kids. This is the white girl. Okay. And, oh, did you guys notice that she doesn't even have her eyes open yet? Just barely slitting. So they don't always open up at the same time. And then the boy. His are just barely slitting too. Diamond's trying to get them. She's like, I want those puppies. So we named these already last week, remember? Can you, I'll keep going if you can switch out to Ethan. Do you want to help get the puppies? All right, so that I don't have to move since we're running short on time. Was Miller on here? Was Madison Miller on here? Let's see. So while he is getting the other puppies, I want you guys to do me a favor. We are going to name two boys, both black and white, letter B as in boy. So if you can start putting names in the comments. Hey, Catherine, I have a surprise for you. Oh, she hasn't said yet. Okay. Oh, I haven't said that yet. But Catherine, do me a favor. You get to pick the names of the two boys. So if you can do me a favor and look at them all and pick which ones you want. Alexis isn't here. My husband's over here helping me get the puppies. And so it is easier for me to say, you're in charge. Pick two boys with the letter B. Everybody, 1, 2, 3, go. Boys. I know somebody emailed me too with the names, but I'm not. Oh, Blizzard. Oh, Tanya. B's are for the boys. We named the girls this litter from Angel last week. We named them already. They're the A litter. So, B's. And while you guys are doing that, I'm going to go back up here. Buster and Brewster. Bear. No more Disney theme. Alexis isn't here. Well, I don't care. Whatever Catherine picks. While we're doing that, I wanted to let you guys know we did an ultrasound on Nala, and it's kind of early, but we saw there's a baby in there. There's at least one baby in there. We're going to do it again next week, but she's definitely pregnant. We pretty much knew she was because the way she was acting, just very moody. But she's pregnant. Probably not many. 1 or 2 is my guess. Girls, come here. So we'll see. And then we do have another litter coming. So that's coming soon, probably in the next 10 days. I'm not going to share too much on here, but I'll be sending you guys an email if you're on our waiting list, so that way you guys can get the info. But springtime is always aw. Okay, that right there, who was looking up, thank you for the super chat, Erica. That was Whiskey right there. That's that's Whiskey. Oh, someone's hitting the camera or the cable. And then if she doesn't want to come out, do you need me to grab the puppies, honey?
I think I can try.
Okay. I was gonna try and name all the puppies. I know people probably want to see them. Ethan, hand me one of them, please. So, yes, we have puppies on the way. Nala wouldn't be due until March. First week of March, I think. Okay. I don't know if his owners are on here. This is, he's looking over at Diamond. Look over that way, goofball. He's looking at Ethan now. This is Whiskey. There. Okay. Next. Are you ready, honey?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Here. Give me the next one real fast.
I'm gonna do one at a time so she doesn't get two.
There's no way you can get them both because they're almost identical. I was gonna try to show. Can you? I'm gonna do them real fast while Cessna is. I gotta switch cameras. You guys can see better. Oh, they're crying. My husband's gonna bring the other one. They are Porkies. Okay, just so you guys know, these are the largest puppies I have ever had born. Largest. 15 ounces at birth. That is ginormous, just so you know. Nala thinks that she should have these puppies. So they're almost twins. Oh my gosh, they're almost identical. Very wiggly too. He's trying to climb on his brother. Nala, you're not getting these puppies. Nala wants to be a mom so bad. But that's the babies. Boys, B names, they're going to be standards, I can already tell you. They're huge. They're, by the way, they are bigger than Angel's puppies. They weigh more than Angel's puppies. At birth, they were more than Angel's puppies. It's crazy. All right. That's the boys. Catherine, you can let me know when you pick the names. Alrighty, you can hand me those other puppies real fast. What else do I have? Let me think about this real fast. We have, hey Catherine, did Madison respond? I don't know if she did. Thank you, Erica. Bigger than Stone. I think so. Oh my God, he's big. Can you grab the other one too? All right, we showed you guys him a minute ago. This is Wine, but you can see him again. And then my camera wants to focus on my hoodie. You got him? There, that's better. He's brown-eyed, but he's super light. He's gonna look like Trout as far as coloring goes. And then Whoopsie. Whoopsie's my trouble. Here, put him back. Watch the cord. He's my troublemaker. He likes to get into things, climb out of things, climb through things. He was born in my bed. He has personality to die for. He's also pretty light. He has a lot of white on his face. Ears aren't up yet. Almost. Just not quite. I just don't know if Madison's on here. Bummer. I don't know who she is, so.
There was two.
Hopefully. All right. Well, we'll see if she doesn't come on here. We'll just have to pick somebody else. All right. So Madison, let's see, what time is it? It's 7:45. So at 7:50, if you're on here, because I don't know how to get a hold of you, I won't be able to send you these socks. So if you're on here, let me know, please. And if not, if she doesn't respond, we're going to pick somebody else. So can you have a backup for me? Okay, so she has the names.
That's nice. Thank you.
My camera is really low, so. Okay, cool. So Tamara liked car-inspired names. Benz and Bentley. Oh my God, that is adorable. That's cute. That's cute, cute, cute. Benz and Bentley. All right, do we have any more questions? Let me go to the end here. So can you write that down for me, honey? Benz and Bentley?
Oh, yeah.
So I can remember. All right, let's see. I want to see if we have any. Did anyone on here get Ruud Trout's babies? Oh, good. Madison's here. Okay, Madison. Well, that's good. I'm glad you were rewinding to see. So I want you to do me a favor. We're going to send you this pair of socks. But I need all of your info. So if you can send me an email to akkmommy@gmail and give me your address, and we'll get those out to you in the next couple of days. So yay, congratulations. Let me get that off of there. Oh my gosh, this went by so fast. So what do you guys think? Any other questions? Did I skip anything that we haven't talked about? Oh, what did I just do? That was weird. So I just saw, yay. Do you offer any service with bringing in puppies from other states, perhaps holding them for a bit? I would pay a premium. No. I do not, unfortunately. It just is very, very hard to help somebody else with puppies and then send them away. For one, it's a lot of work for us. For two, our family gets attached. For three, our dogs don't always accept outsiders, or especially depending on the age. But it's just too hard for us. And we have puppies constantly, so it's just too much work, unfortunately. I'm sorry. Anybody on here have Usher?
Crazy.
Nobody? Do me a favor if you haven't already, please. Hey, we're up 69. Do me a favor and hit that thumbs up. If you haven't, please subscribe to our channel. At least consider subscribing to our channel. And if you hit that little bell notification, then anytime we go live or if we upload new videos, you guys will be notified so that you guys don't miss them. We do go live every Thursday. Do you guys see River? We go live every Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. with the rare occasion when something happens and we can't. But that's Diamond and Nala, guys. Oh, there's River and Kira. And do you see River? He's the youngest one, and he is in charge of Kira. So, you know, we talked about male and female and differences. And usually the boys are like calmer and the girls are usually the ones being very dominant. Well, River and Kira are the exception to that when it comes to that type of personality, because Kira is the lowest on the totem pole. Even River came in and knew it. It's like this weird thing. Like they have instinct and they know when they see, oh, you're the lowest, so I'm going to pick on you as well. Because River does not do that to anybody else, only to her. He knows what he can do. Craziness. Okay. There's always next time we hit the bees. Oh, I missed it. I think we did. Huh. Did I miss anybody? Any questions I missed? What are we going to have for dinner? That's what I want to know. E, what are we having for dinner?
I don't care.
Thursdays we don't eat until really late. Now they're waking up. The 3 boys from Rue. My goodness. Aw. They're just at it. This is awesome. Well, I'm just going to hang out. I'll wait and see if there's anything else. Especially first time owners. Wait. Is it hard to establish the order? Is it hard to establish the order with Klee Kai, especially for first time puppy owners? Meaning the pecking order? And who's in charge? They're a stubborn breed for sure, and they are sometimes more dominant than others, so it just depends on each one. However, they're stubborn and they are smart. So that means that they are going to try their best to manipulate you. That's their toys. And get their way. And so it is very easy for them. Ethan, scoot over, bud, so that your face isn't right there and then they can see everybody. You can just still play, just scoot back. Yeah. So you want to make sure that they know right off the bat you're in charge. And if they don't respect you and they don't listen, then they go in timeout. And that means it's their crate time, it's their alone time, and they don't get the extra walks. They don't get the extra anything until they do start to learn that. Because the first time they realize that they can get away with something, they're never going to stop. It's just like crate training. But yeah, there's definitely a pecking order. Hey, did all of you guys see our commercial? River says, did you guys see the commercial? I don't know if all of you guys saw that. So 8 years ago, we had a puppy that, I'm looking for the video so I could share it. We had a puppy that was in a Super Bowl commercial. We didn't know it was a Super Bowl commercial in the beginning. We only knew that we were getting paid for a puppy to be in a commercial. We had no idea what kind. And then when we got there, the whole crew, the staff, everybody was in jerseys, football jerseys. So we kind of had a feeling that it was going to be a Super Bowl commercial. But yesterday was 8 years since that commercial. And I'm not looking at you guys because I'm trying to pull it up. And so I shared it on Instagram. And I can share it here. I have to share it a specific way because of copyright situation. But it is a cars.com commercial. And I have a lot of pictures too. So for example, that work? So this was one of the wolves. Okay. Do you see that cage? I mean, those wolves were scary. And then there's another one. So there's a couple photos, but it's all on Instagram. So what I'm going to do is dump this in here real fast. Hopefully this will work.
Shouldn't there be more back and forth? You missed the drama, right? Yeah. Maybe this will do the trick. It's a puppy. Not a puppy, a wolf. What now? He's a wolf. And that is its incredibly protective mother. Put the wolf down. You guys good? Yeah, we're good. Yep. Okay.
All right, I gotta figure this out. Oh, I think I can do that. Yeah, that was our commercial. So pretty cool. So that was a litter of 7-week-old puppies that we actually took the whole crew there and they picked the brown-eyed one. We had one brown-eyed puppy because wolves don't have blue eyes, and so they picked her. Her name was Kina back then, and I think I have a picture of them. And then, so that was the set. It was really cool. And then this was the producer. Yeah. That's pretty cool. It was fun.
Very chill. Thank you.
I just dumped it all over everything else. It's fun. Ah. All right. Let's see. I had a question on the grooming. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Leslie. How long? 15 minutes. So it's just going to depend on the puppy. If they're shedding, then it's going to be 15 minutes every day for a long time. But if it's just for getting them used to it, it's literally 5-10 minutes. Till they get irritated, frustrated. But if they're relaxed and comfortable, then you're not going to be getting a lot of fur out. It's really good to just let them enjoy it. So 10-15 minutes is plenty. Once a week, twice a week. And while you're doing that, make sure that you're touching their paws and their feet and getting them used to that. Because if you do, then whenever you do cut your puppy's nails or your butt, if you have to have them do it, then they're not going to get squirmy. They're not going to be pulling their feet away. So get them used to messing with their mouth, get them used to messing with their teeth, and brushing and combing them out. Madison, what's the general red and white prices if you can? So our pricing is based on overall quality, coat color, and eye color. We don't really do any pricing based on gender or size. And so the reds are usually less than our black and whites, but more than our gray or our all white. So they're up there. It just depends on their eye color and then the overall quality. And when I say overall quality, a lot of that means like how's their structure, how is their markings, how are they built basically. Like if they are top-notch quality, then you're going to be paying more. But if they're black and white, we always go with the highest price. They're the hardest to get and the most sought after. Supply and demand, unfortunately.
Sit. No, sit. 1, 2. Sit.
You're welcome.
No.
I'm glad you liked the commercial. It was pretty cool.
Sit.
So let's see. Timer. Who was the puppy in the commercial? She does look like Sierra a lot. Her name was Kina.
Sit.
Do you see the little puppies being good? Most of them.
Chill, bro.
So her name was Kina, and she was from 2 dogs that are retired from our breeding program. We had a Lily several years ago, so it was from our first Lily and Boldar, which both are retired. Okay, I got that. Okay, and Emily, any good size estimate predictor tools online that, no. I don't know of any good estimators that are going to work. I've tried a few of them because there's a bunch online that you can plug in information just to see if they come out right, and they don't come out right. I don't know what they base it on. I was trying based on, especially our breed's not in a lot of them, but I was trying like on an Eskimo and stuff too to see if I could get it, but Eskimo's way more because they're heavier. Ours are finer boned, not necessarily finer bones, thinner. So if they're thinner, the weights are off. So it seemed to be off. Yeah, we have superstar puppies. I actually emailed the family to see if they could give us an update, but I never heard back from them. It was 8 years ago. So I don't know. I did not keep the puppy. She was actually sold before. She was sold before we even knew that she was going to be in a commercial, but she hadn't left yet. So yeah. Emily remembers the commercial. That is cool. All right. You want to hand me? Yes, Catherine. It was Nala that I did the ultrasound on. So her belly's all shaved now. And I did not do an ultrasound on another moment, but she's due in a couple of weeks, and we have babies on the way. It's going to be a busy, busy spring. So when we talk structure, what makes it good? Ooh, that's a very good question. All right, for those of you who are going to stay on here. Uh-oh. What was that, a bone?
Yeah.
So structure is, I just took a bunch of photos. I'm going to try to find it for you. A bunch of photos of, you know what I hate is that my back is on here, honey. Everything is covered by our screen and then I can't get into it. I'm talking to myself. All right, I need my adults. Okay, so these might be old. All right, so when you talk structure on a dog, do you see how that puppy is standing? That's kind of a small picture.
Yeah.
All right, so that puppy right there has you can tell already that that puppy is going to move very nicely because its front legs are lined up straight, its back legs are perfectly straight, and it has the correct angle, and its top line. When I talk top line, I'm talking about the top of the dog's back is 100%. It's straight. It's perfectly straight. It's a little bit longer than it is taller, and his or her neck is up ahead above their top line. So their neck is up here, right? And their head is up here. And so that you could tell just when a puppy stands correctly at 8, 7, 6, 5 weeks old, that is going to be a puppy that moves very well because they're structurally sound. So when you have a structurally sound dog, they're just going to move correctly because everything is perfect. It's all going to be in sync. A dog that doesn't stand correctly at 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks old, you can tell as a breeder, you can tell that they're going to have a funky hop or goof. And for most people, that's normal. That's okay for them. But when you're talking show quality and the best of the best, this is what you want to see. This right here, you want to see that outline. And if you are looking at the dog straight on, a lot of times you won't even be able to see the back legs because everything is so lined up that they're hidden behind the front legs. But if you're at an angle, then of course you're going to see a lot of that. I don't know. Oops. And then when a dog is moving, real quickly, I know it's already 8 o'clock. When a dog is moving, their front leg is going to be going away when their back leg is going in the spot of that front leg. So when they're moving, they should constantly be tracking together. So when this leg comes, when this leg comes up off the ground, their back leg is going in that spot. And that is how they should move. And when they're moving like this, their top line, so their back up there, should be straight, right? So that's how they should be moving. Let's see if I got a couple more here. Maybe. Oh, it's down. No, it's not going to go in. Even Kika, so a lot of my pictures are really old because I didn't have a good camera there. But do you see how the back leg it's going to be going down where the front leg is? I was hoping this one was going to load, but it's not. Well, anyways, I wasn't working on all that. But there you go. You guys got a little extra. Don't get me started on dog shows. All right, it's so late. It's already 8:03. It's time to go. I want to eat dinner. I need a puppy. I guess I'll come over there. I gotta say goodbye.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Catherine. Congratulations on your guys' wins. I'm going to go over there and say bye with little River because look at him. Aw. Hi, River boy.
You want me to click?
Yeah, you have to hit that finish and then you have to hit it again, okay? You ready, Papa? What? Hi. Hi. We ran over, huh? We ran over. I know. Hi, babies. Come here, Ruby. Come here, Ruby. Okay. All right, are we ready? Everybody wants to come say bye. Huh? Everybody. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us and supporting our channel, and especially for the super chat and super stickers. Oh my God, I can't even talk to you guys. They're crazy. Maybe Maybe it ain't gonna work the way I wanted it to. See, this is what happens when I sit on the ground. All right, bye guys. See you next time. I'm trying to get a piece out of the cake.